Hello. So before I start, I'm just gonna pull up the game. Sorry about that. 1 second. There we go. So before we start, just thought I'd kind of explain a few things. Yeah, I've been gone for a little while, and mainly because I've just started a new job, which is great. Hot chocolate time. Yeah, just started a new job, far away from where I'm originally from. At Games Workshop. I'm actually working at Games Workshop right now, which is cool. Doing lots of retail stuff and selling all of the games and painting all of the models and sculpting things and things like that. And also throwing stuff in to get published hopefully in the coming months and years. But enough about that. I had to take a break from streaming for a little while, mainly because the internet's also shitty here as well. It tends to cut out every now and again. I find that really distracting and really annoying. But I said, fuck it, let's just try it, you know. If the internet goes and I'll just carry on recording and I'll upload to YouTube anyway. So I figured, since I've pretty much got a clean slate, I've finished nearly every series that I was doing on YouTube. We haven't gone back to Doom yet because I don't have the space for it on my solid state drive, but we will once I do, which is quite soon. But apart from that, there hasn't really been much for me to put on YouTube, unfortunately. It's all been very quiet on the Western Front, so to speak. We've had RP, obviously, but since Dragon Age Inquisition, there's not really been much fun. We've done Batman Telltale. But since then, honestly, not much to put on. Till now, a new series, and I figured it would be in my best interests, I guess. Batman Telltale. In my best interests, I guess, to do something that I have a lot of passion for, and that would be Shadowrun, the beast that you see before you. Shadowrun's a setting that I've been into for donkey's years. The first time I ever played the game was actually Shadowrun Returns, which is this game. But Shadowrun as a setting, I've loved for a long time. It really is unique, and it's one of those settings that, to be honest with you, as a writer, I'm really pissed off somebody else thought of it before I did, because it's just I don't know, like it combines so many cool things that just works so well together. I mean, of course elves work in cyberpunk, of course orcs and racists and people that are racist against subhumans that are orcs and goblins and things are, it melds mythology and the real world, and it says, well, mythology was that Tolkien was right. Tolkien's actually a mythical figure in Shadowrun, in real Shadowrun. Like, Tolkien's an actual dude who everyone's like, my god, he was right all along, because Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings as a sort of prehistory to the world. It's like he wanted to envision it as happening in a sort of primordial England, that sort of a thing. Of course it didn't, he wasn't trying to make an allegory for anything. I mean, he didn't like allegory, but, the whole thing is that it was meant to be real because he wanted to imagine this would have happened somewhere, in the real world. And the same with Conan and things like that. So the same with Conan and things, Conan's world is our world, but ages ago, that sort of thing. And writers now actually, well, the guys who made Shadowrun have looked at that and said, well, what if that was true? And what if it all started coming back? What would happen? What would happen? I mean, Deus Ex, for instance, Cyberpunk is an answer to a question. Okay? as a genre. Deus Ex is how would people react to blank. You know, every single cyberpunk thing is how would people react to blank. So Deus Ex is how would people react to, you know, mechanical implants and people being, you know, augmented. You know, Blade Runner is how would people react to replicants and robots that look so like humans and actually are pretty much human that, you know, they can replace us at any moment. Yeah. Shadowrun is the question, how would people react to both of those things, and magic and dwarves and elves and orcs and trolls? How would people react to goblinization, the fact that these trolls and elves and people like that were actually normal people who turned into trolls when magic started flowing back into the world again? That's what I love about Shadowrun, is that it's that, you know, the magic was always there. It was just so downplayed since the primordial era, you know, since the era where, you know, since those times. There used to be orcs, there used to be goblins, there used to be dragons, there used to be everything, but they were gone for thousands of years. And then in 2012, when the Mayan calendar clicked over, magic started flowing again, and all of a sudden people just goblinized and turned into trolls and elves and dwarves, and people stayed human, but when people's magical powers were awoken. And you combine that with the drudgery of cyberpunk and the fact that, you know, corporations have taken over, you know, magic's now a thing. You know, one of the greatest lines, and I stole it for Broken Chrome, which is a setting that I'm writing, is that when there's a new invention, humanity will always do two things with it first. The first of those two things is use it for porn. And and that's what, when they were talking about magic in Shadowrun, that's what they said. Yeah, the first thing magic was used for, in the commercial sense, was porn. It wasn't used for medical advances. It wasn't used for it was just used for porn. And of course, it was used for medical advances after that. But initially, porn. And that's exactly what Shadowrun is. It's a dirty, seedy, down and ready setting. When Shadowrun Returns came out, I was just so excited and I couldn't wait to get it. I got my hands on it, and me and my friend John, like, we love Shadowrun. Like, we absolutely adore Shadowrun, and I'll go as far as saying it's probably my favourite fictional universe because it isn't up itself, you know? Like Star Wars, people take Star Wars far too seriously for what it is. You know, people, you know, Star Trek takes itself far too seriously. Don't even get me fucking started on things like Battlestar Galactica, which are just, you know. So yeah, but Shadowrun doesn't take itself too seriously. It actually takes the piss out of itself quite a lot, and even though it's really dark and can be really tragic, as we'll see, because I'm going to play through all 3 Shadowrun games that have come out. And in response to the questions in chat, donkey's years is a phrase, an English phrase. It comes from the fact that donkeys live for a long time. Subhumans, yes, they are called metahumans. They're called subhumans in Broken Chrome that I'm writing, so, you know, things get skewed in my brain, but they are called metahumans in this. You're correct, yes. And how does one use it for porn? It isn't really described because they like to leave that ambiguous. I think they just put that in there as like a you know, because this is a setting written by men, so for the most part. So, but I love Shadowrun. I love how gritty it is. I love how special it is, how unique it is, and the only thing I don't like about the setting is that I didn't think of it. So here we go. Let's start a new game of Shadowrun. And by the way, I'm terrible at this game. So the Dead Man's Switch. We can find more stories. Is basically finding mods. Some of them can be quite cool. Okay. In the urban sprawl of the Seattle Metroplex, the search for a mysterious killer sets you on a trail that leads from the darkest slums to the city's most powerful megacorps. You will need to tread carefully, enlist the aid of other runners and master powerful forces of technology and magic in order to emerge from the shadows of Seattle unscathed. There are a myriad, a deluge of improvements after this game in Dragonfall. We'll get them into as we go. So, launch campaign. Yeah, we'll go for easy. I am terrible at this game and I just want to show you the story. So we'll go for easy. Call me Pansy if you want. I'm not a pro gamer. Okay, so I'm male. And we're always human. I'm always human in this setting. And I'm always a street samurai. I'm always about that shit. As a street samurai, you're basically the upfront fighter, or the gunner, or the close combat specialist. The street samurai is a freelance operative who follows a code of street honor. They are learned in the ways of the traditional samurai warrior and in the practices of modern combat. Samurai sell their skills for profit and work to take out this dishonorable scum that seem to breed in the urban sprawl. Not really what I do, but you know. Okay. That's a really shitty looking Jack he's got there. Looks like he's about to keel over and die. Well, there's some really gnarly looking mech stuff in this game. In this setting even. They actually use this character portrait for I think it's Blaze is his name? Or something like that. In the second, no, it's not Blaze. He's the Decker from the second game, from Dragonfall. Never mind. Looks like a fucking weirdo. And that's it. Where are the white dudes? Where's the love for the white dudes? I don't look like a fucking psycho. What? That's all I get. Yo. Normal-ish dude, looks like he's had a heart attack. Asian. What the fuck? My god. There used to be a... I swear there used to be a... There's loads for elves. Fucking elves. Whoa! What the fuck was that? Troll. There are orcs in this game. And trolls like this. Fucking huge dudes. Guess I'm just gonna stick with this then, because the other ones look fucking ridiculous. Or the black dudes, and I'm not playing a black dude, so... Guess we'll just stick with this one then. Wait, can we have some weird ass? Yeah, I don't want a beard. It's fine. Looks pretty cool. Continue to spend your karma. Okay, so Shadowrun is based on the actual Shadowrun game. So this is generally a trimmed down version of the Shadowrun role-playing rules. The Shadowrun role-playing rules are fucking insane in how indecipherable they actually are. They are completely mental. But as they work quite well. So I like ranged combat and I like charisma. Those are the two things I really like. So we'll go for some ranged combat. If I've raised charisma, it would have 3. And like this, part of the reason why I like Dragon Falls, you get better portraits and you can be woefully overpowered straight from the start if you plunk everything into so I've gone up one there. I like rifles. I like charisma, and I like do you know what, I'll go with 2 on rifles. I really like rifles. And my etiquette is street, because from numerous interviews that I've seen, Shadowrun, as in the series, all follows one runner. It never explicitly tells you that, because they want you to have the choice to be on your own if you want. But chronologically, Shadowrun Hong Kong takes place first, and then Shadowrun Returns takes place, and then Shadowrun Dragonfall takes place. We're going to be playing them in the order that they were released in. So, I don't know. I've always thought that you could swap it out and do, this is the first game, Shadowrun Returns, and then Hong Kong is the second one, and then Dragonfall is the last one. That's what I thought. But I only have Street because I have not been in any corporate places. I've not even been a Shadowrunner yet in my head. So we're going to treat it as this is the very first game. Then we go on to Hong Kong, which is the second game, and then Dragonfall is the last game in the series. Even though that's not the order that they were released chronologically, that's the way that they go. So we go with Street, and my name is Treble. Do you know what? Shall we go with Damocles? Yeah, let's go with Damocles. Down and out. Your apartment, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's got 4 walls, a roof, and it isn't on fire. Even the cockroaches have fled in search of better accommodations. Not exactly a runner's dream pad, but right now, it's about all you have left. Running the shadows is all about feast or famine. One day you're Nova Hot, working jobs that allow you to eat at 5-star restaurants. The next, well, you're here. This one's a famine for the ages. Slagging fixer hasn't called. The money's run out, and then some. Sinless and free. Free to starve in the cracks of a society run by megacorps who just want your noyin. Noyin as money in Shadowrun. Something needs to change, and soon. Right. So here is Damocles. Your notebook, calendar, contacts, that kind of thing. Your list of contacts. Carter Detroit, fixer, no response to messages. Dowd, runner, dead. Felton Nash, fixer, missing since Feb. New Larry, runner, dead. Sam Watts, runner, probably in a gutter somewhere. Sangoma, runner, dead. Half-jack dealer, retired or dead. The list goes on, either dead ends or just plain dead. For your personal calendar. It's empty, nothing to do. Put down my notebook. It's a nice bathroom I have there. So I've got Jessica Rabbit on the wall, nothing wrong with that. A slip of paper with your bank balance, enough to cover you through to the end of the week. That's good, I guess. Your computer, state of the art in 2050, broken since 2051. Oh. Sam Watts. The screen leaps to life, making you squint against its brightness. The face on the screen is laughing. Sam Watts. Hey buddy, hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. He giggles. He's drunk again, or worse. Shouldn't have given you my com code. Gonk. Another giggle. Oh, don't bother with your side of the conversation. I'm not really here. Just one reason for this vid. Someone finally geeked me. I'm dead. Probably had it coming. When you're an unsavory character like myself, you tend to associate with unsavory characters who often partake in unsavory business. Well, like you. Like you, for example. So, why am I dead? No, who knows? Probably my fault. I wonder where you are right now. I bet you hit a big payday and you're living on the high life on the hog somewhere. Some of us are born winners and some of us are, well, me. Hey, you remember that Renraku run with that, when things went to hell and we lost Dowd? Or that makeshift saloon on the docks afterwards? I really had your back that night, didn't I? Dowd? That's a name you haven't heard in a long time. "3 years ago, a makeshift bar on the Seattle docks, the night Dowd went down. Here's new Larry. Sangoma. Sangoma is an urban shaman who proved her worth during a run against Fuchi last fall. She's the quiet type, and an experienced runner. We're out in the open here, Damocles. Our fixer roses for the last run, and for Dowd, we wait. Your call." You've been running with new Larry for about 6 months now. He's a combat mage with a bad tattoo and a bad attitude. You knew Dowd almost as well as he knew Dowd almost as well as you did. Dowd, never saw anyone die like that before. Idiot. He shakes his head. I hate this fracking city, Damocles. It's wet and the rain feels like acid and I want out of here. We wait for the money. Yeah, sure, of course. I'll wait all night if I have to. Sam. I don't know, Damocles. Sam is a good guy and can hold his own in a fight, but he's been hitting the bottle pretty good lately. Never on a run so far, but he needs watching. He shakes his head. That run went sideways nine ways to Sunday. Now the fixer is late. Smell funny to you? Hell yeah, it smells funny. Look at where he set the meeting. This is supposed to be a public place. New Larry. Cut the dreck, Sam. We both know why Dowd went down, and it wasn't the fixer or some other paranoid chip dream of yours. Sam smiles a toothy smile. I've been waiting for this all night. You, Larry, have something you want to say, don't you, Larry? Go ahead, spill it. Larry, you were sloppy. Sam laughs. Sloppy? You think I was sloppy? You've been twitchy all day, son. Look at your hands, they're shaking. That true, Sam? Did you miss a beat back there? No, Damocles, I didn't miss a beat. I was on my game the whole time, remember? I was on point. Knew Larry was supposed to cover Dowd. Something dawns on him. He leans into new Larry, amused and dangerous. We were set up, and he knows it, don't you, Larry? What was the last call you made before we hit Renraku? How come you couldn't geek that guy before you unloaded on Dowd? I've seen you fling the lightning bolt. He should have been burnt toast before his gun cleared the holster. You Larry checks his watch, licks his lips. Over your shoulder at the darkness, he's looking for someone, and it's not the fixer. Okay, I can see where this is going. Your trummers are damaged. I'm out. Hands where I can see them, asshole. He stops and the smile slowly appears in his face. What? You gonna take my gun away, Damocles? You know I don't need one. Sangoma, we got incoming. Larry relaxes and throws you a Drek-eating grin. Looks like my new Naraku friends are finally here. They're gonna take that hard drive off your corpse, buddy. You should choose your friends more carefully, Damocles. Says Sam. Buy you a drink after this? Sam, you'll owe me several. I don't like how it does. You haven't even started learning the game yet, and it automatically goes, "Everyone die!" and it fucking hits you. Yeah. Didn't give me any help then, you son of a bitch. You just fucking... Boom. Ooh, nice. I gotcha, son of a bitch. Bollocks. I thought when he missed and still hit me. Wow. What is it with Lone Star, man? Just... Okay. Yeah. These weapons are actually weapons from the game too, the actual role-playing game, which is always cool. Ooh. Needed a bit of healing and missed. She got really lucky there. Oh. Sangoma lowers her gun. Aye, Sam. You okay, Sam? Sam's breathing is heavy and he looks shaken. That was a hell of a thing. Part of the life, Sam. You know that. Sam, what? You were born for this gig, Damocles. Me? Not so much. I think I'm gonna hang it up, find a nice brothel somewhere, stay drunk until I croak. What about you? I think I'll find a better class of people to hang out with. Me? I do this. It's the only life I know. Yes, me? I do this. It's the only life I know. Well, you're a dumbass, and I'll drink to you when you're dead. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm not going to outlast you. Guess you can drink to me. You stare at Sam's face on your comlink. Shake off the memory. Focus. Sam Watts, I had your back that night, didn't I? Now I'm asking myself. Who would care if I die? Who would give a rat's ass? Better or worse, you're the name at the top of the list. Maybe it's the only name on the list. So I set up a dead man switch to send you this call. I got 100,000 Noyan insurance policy. Payable when you find who creased me. Alive, with a conviction, or in a blow-up body bag with justification. Either works. Contact my law firm, Rogers, Mangert and McCain, when the job is done. They'll know what to do. He turns to his left. Chet? The camera swivels to show a well-dressed man sitting next to Sam. Pursuant to Mr. Watch wishes, Rogers and Mangert and McCain have installed a secure dedicated phone line so you may contact us directly when the task is complete. We'll then begin a verification process. Note that you must also be on a secure landline to access this number. We will not accept transmissions from comlinks or other services. The camera switches swivels back to Sam. Sam straightens up, talks seriously, first time. Look, Damocles, I've led a Drek life, and I probably left a Drek corpse. I've hurt people, have hurt myself, I don't know. Maybe I just want the last word. Maybe I just want someone to give a crap that I sucked air for a while. What do you say? I say I've traded a drinking buddy for a paycheck. I'd say my schedule's pretty clear right now. 1,000 million, buys a lot of drinks. I'd say I've traded a drinking buddy for a paycheck. Hope you just said yes. I've got a located chip slotted in my head these days. When my heart stops, it'll activate. That's how you'll find me. Guess I'll see you on the slab. Guess I'm heading back to Seattle. The dead man switch. Your plane, how have we afforded a plane ticket? I don't know, but your plane hits the SeaTac tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in a cramped backseat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's located chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ Grinders, a local chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for Noyan, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. It seems this is where Sam Watts' body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. Down, down. What The smell of death and decomposition wash all over you, slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. Nice. So the original Shadowrun, in the first Shadowrun game, you started in a morgue, as in you were one of the bodies in a morgue that wakes up. Supposed to symbolise the fact that you've been disregarded by the system and flushed down the toilet, basically, you know, and now you're out the other side and you're, you know. And this one also starts in the morgue, but it's not you on the slab this time, which I always thought was nice. Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf, whistling a tune. His broad grin says, "I love my job," a little more than you'd want for someone in the chop shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it might just be a stray reflection of probe and surgical tools. "Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour. And some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, sir?" Are you the coroner? "I'm John Dresden, the Organ Grinders branch manager here, so yeah, that makes me this franchise's area coroner too." "And you are?" "Damocles, I'm here about Somewhat. Damocles, I represent a man called Somewhat. I'm here to look into it. No one you've ever heard of. Now tell me about Somewhat." He fixes you with a hard gaze. "Careful, friend. I can have a Lone Star here in 2 minutes. Now, what makes you think I'd know anything about Sam Watts?" "Sam had a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here." "I see. Well, you're right, he's here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though, so the press haven't caught wind of it yet. What with it being all the way out here in the Barrens. So who told you he was dead?" Sam's digital. I'm not going to tell him about the money. That's silly. Sam's digital ghost. When his heart stopped, I sent a recorded message. Sam's digital ghost. When his heart stopped, I got sent a recorded message asking me to bring his killer to justice. Guess he had a hunch. The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. "A dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over there." "He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third was downtown." "Ripper, huh?" "Yeah. Ripper, huh? I guess the classics never got a style." He sighs. "Not my title. That's what the Seattle press insist on calling the killer. All I know is that the original Jack, like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel, but this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim." Delicious. 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 A trophy hunter. What was it? Watts' liver was cleanly cut out. How about the other lucky contestants? The first victim's heart was missing, and the third had the spleen removed. McCluskey. "Dresden, get out here." "I'm here about the new Ripper Vic, Sam Watts." Lone Star here, great. Let's try and get some of this shit. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet, his face an ashen white. For the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest there's a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him and took it. Next to Sam, are several plastic envelopes containing evidence found in his body. You can examine the evidence through the bag without spoiling it. Look at the business card. Moving through the things, you make out a card from a place called the Seamstresses Union. There is something handwritten on the back, but blood has made it ineligible. Look at the cred stick. It's a standard, cheap, unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. I'll take the cred stick. Yay! Look at the purple shirt. It's Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing, and blood has thoroughly soaked it. The bag slashes a bit in your hand. Look at the handwritten note. You can only see part of the note, given the torn off bits and bloodstains. I feel a terrible ugh. We have been long to say I'm sorry. See you there. Love, Jessica. Put down the evidence bag. What's in here? Oh, nice. Well, sorry, Sam. Just gonna have to go out and see what this asshole wants. Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of central casting. If you ignore the tusks, pointed ears, and Neanderthal brow, you can smell his cheap aftershave from a mile away. So this new Ripovic, what? Name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? Coroner frowns. So you insisted at the time? He chortles. Come on, she offed herself. I had it on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. The Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge. Dresden. I've already posted everything I know. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. The perp is most likely right-handed, with a slim hand that knows its way around the scalpel. Has a decent understanding of a human and metahuman anatomy too. So, I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon? Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could anyone from a military field surgeon to a antique medicine aficionado? You're no damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You notice superhuman powers of observation. Who the hell are you? I'm new in town. You the welcoming committee? If you're new in town, then let me be the first to tell you that I run the show. If you get in my way, you'll end up back there on a slab. He looks at the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I'm putting someone in a cell or a box this week and claiming my promotion. Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? I'm great at dinner parties too. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me. You really gonna work for the dead man? A job's a job, and this one pays better than most. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 million a week on his paycheck. Plus he's on the take. Everyone's on the take in Shadowrun. Dresden pauses, considering. He doesn't say that. You have honour, after a fashion. I try to honour the dead in my work, so we have that in common. I basically just told you that I'm only doing this for my dead best friend because I'm getting paid. But okay. What can I do to help you? On the take? Who's paying to hold his leash? I don't know, but someone with major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. What was that McCluskey said about Sam's mother? The official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago. Aren't you the official in that sentence? My name's on the report, but my actual findings left some doubts. I can't say that it wasn't suicide, but there were unusual bruises on the upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it. What are organs worth these days? A whole healthy body can be worth a bunch of yen, but individual organs, not worth as much anymore. What with all the synth and cyber stuff on the market these days. Organ grinders only deals in the recently deceased. There's plenty of other chop shops that aren't as picky though, and they don't care where the bodies come from either. Who still uses scalpels? Doctors still learn how to use them in the first year of medical school, as do coroners, but neither profession uses them as much anymore. It's possible some of the slimier chop shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look. Have you heard of the Seamstresses Union? It's a nearby club in the Barrens that attracts lowlifes. You'd probably like it. Oh, cheers, mate. Me, I'm not really the going out type. Always too much to be done around here. Plus, the dead are much easier to get along with. I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? Destin looks up at you intently for a moment before speaking. You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers in the back and see if you find anything useful? Okay then. I'll go do that. Cold storage drawer is labelled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. Open the drawer. The cold storage drawer opens to reveal the fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest. In addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen, the body seems to be in very good condition. Whoa, easy there! What the fuck? I forgot about this guy. In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. You spot a data jack drilled into his temples and some shamanistic tattoos peeking above his collar. An interesting combination. I told John to make me up at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 in the morning yet? I don't feel like it's 6 yet. What do I look like? A damn alarm clock? Give me a break, chummer. I haven't had my soy calf yet. He chuckles. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I noticed you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? What the hell are you doing in a morgue drawer? I'm looking into the depth of Sam. What's the coroner? Yeah, I'm looking into the depth of Sam. What's the coroner seems to think it. I'll ask the questions. What the hell are you doing in a morgue drawer? Well, playing dead mostly. A bunch of gangers out there want my head, and I'd rather keep it. Figured I'd lay low for a while, give them some time to cool down. Jake yells towards the other side of the room. John, is this guy cool? Dresden. Yeah, he's on the level. Working with Sam, believe it or not. Some sort of dead man switch. I thought you could have him out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Jake Armitage, thanks for volunteering me. He pauses, might be sizing you up, but it's hard to tell behind those shades. Alright then. The name's Jake and you are? Call me Damocles. Nice to meet you. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here. John's right, I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder. Poor guy. He was hanging out at the Seamstresses Union that night, tripped out and rowdy. I'd been laying low there for a few days after a bad run. Mrs. Kubota asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But out in the alley, some gangers got the jump on me. He winces. Damn, maybe I need a soy calf after all. John, could you grab me a cup? Get your own damn cup, my hands are dirty anyway. Now, what's with this intestine? You hear a loud squelching sound as Dresden continues his work. Thanks, John, you're a real pal. Anyway. There's a big fat court bounty on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got the jump on us. Damn gangers thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles, and you get the impression that didn't work out so well for the gangers. Sam stumbled off during the fight though, and that's the last I saw him. Until he turned up here, dead on arrival. Reminds me of my last day in this place. You've done this before? It's a long story. I ended up in the morgue more than the average guy. Dresden, yeah, Drake's a regular. Should have started a rewards card, Jake. A few more visits and you get a free night stay. Jake laughs. I'll hold you to that, John. Anyway, they found Sam's body less than a block away from the Union, missing liver and all. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with the Halloweeners out there. The leader's got the whole gang searching the barrens for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit the streets alone at night, trust me. Jake looks up and down. And maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What do you say? I don't work for free. I fight to get paid. Neuen, not tours. Guess I'd say the same in your shoes. Fine. There's a cred stick with 1,000 Neuen on your naming. Help me dust those gangers and it's yours. Make it 1,500. Hard bargainer. Alright, 1,500 it is. But you'd better be worth it. I'm good for the fight if you're good for the money. Great. I've been hiding out here ever since that run-in with those Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangers, but this stretch of the barrens is their turf. Hell, I'm surprised you even made it to this morgue in one piece without packing some heat. Yep, Dresden, he yells over his shoulder. Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow. So you need a weapon? I had to keep my distance. You got a rifle? You don't like library windows, do you? Never mind. It's a rifle you can borrow. So, ready for an evening out in town? If you're buying. Heh, I've already provided the party favours. You can leave whenever you're ready. Cool. The Redmond Barrens. Run in the Seattle sprawl, and sooner or later you'll find yourself in the Redmond Barrens. It doesn't matter your business, the Barrens doesn't like you. Take 1 part radioactive wasteland, 3 parts dog-eat-dog slum, add a dash of tourist trap, and you got a recipe for mean as hell. You leave the sanitized death and formaldehyde of organ grinders behind, entering the anarchy and desperation of the streets. Jake stops a moment to breathe deeply, filling his lungs with motorcycle exhaust, radioactive dust, cordite, and who knows what else. He exhales with an expression of wry contentment. The stench and grime tells him he's home. Okay, where are we now? Yeah, I think that'll do for now. I just wanted to check if it's all up and running, and it seems to be. We haven't dropped any frames or anything, so thank you very much for watching. And I'll speak to you next time. See you later.